What's up, guys? It's Mr. Fit to Flourish, and today I wanted to talk about the books, the books that you absolutely need to get started trading. A lot of people talk about the ICT, ABC, 123, SMC, like all these strategies and stuff when it comes to trading, and like, oh, YouTube this, YouTube that. That's great, but you're going to be doing a lot of sifting. So let's get started in the order of what books you need to read when you're getting started trading, and then even getting into advanced trading. Okay, the number one book that you're going to need is A Random Walk Down Wall Street. So I kind of want to pull these up so you can actually see them instead of me just saying them. You're going to be able to see A Random Walk Down Wall Street. And this book is by Burton Malkiel. Okay, and it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this guy here. Pretty good stuff here. So for me, when I first started getting into trading and stocks, all that good stuff, I trade a lot of options. But when I first started getting into trading, I had a pharmacist come to me and say, hey, you're a smart guy. This is what I do. This is how I have all these cars. You need to read this book. Okay, you need to read this book. So, and I had no idea what a stock was, or like my family's from a fourth world country. So like they don't know finance or stocks and stuff of that nature, unfortunately. So I never learned that stuff. However, I was open to the opportunity that was at hand. And this book literally breaks it down frame by frame, word for word, page by page, and makes it super easy. It's like, oh, this is what a stock is. You invest like this. This is what a market is. This is how supply and demand works. And it was really, really good. And I really, really liked it in terms of learning how to trade and learning just the basics of what a stock is and how stocks work and how people invest. All right. Now, the very next book that I would recommend reading would be this book here, and it is the only technical analysis book you'll ever need. And this book is by Brian Hale. All right, let me pull this guy up for you. This book right here. Now, I actually didn't read this book until like really 4 years into my trading journey. And the reason is I did a lot of other research, a lot of other reading, and then on my journey now, I'm just kind of reading extra books and seeing, hey, what other books may I benefit from? And this one, I'm like, dang, dude, if I had this in the beginning, I would have been a killer. I would have been destroying the market, okay? And I was like, do I really need this book for technical analysis? And what is technical analysis? Is basically looking at the charts and determining what's going to happen in the future based on patterns, okay? And some people are like, oh, patterns don't work. But patterns really do work. And the reason is because whenever there's supply and demand, there's exchanges happening. Exchanges happen at certain prices, and then patterns appear with these prices. Like someone might pay $10 here, $15 here, instead of paying like $12.31 or anything. People might pay at these increments, and then on a chart, the patterns are visible. They're visible by what's called candlesticks, and these candlestick charts create patterns, and these patterns are recognizable. Okay, they appear all the time. And this book by Brian Hale nails it, man. This book nails it, okay? And this is what it looks like here. The only technical analysis book that you will ever need, okay? By Brian Hale. And when he says it's the only one you'll ever need, it probably is, because it literally tells you the difference between oscillators and overlays, which are just like the EMAs versus MACDs, RSIs, things like that show you momentum versus things that show you average prices, okay? This stuff is A1 shmoney, golden, okay? A1 money. Now, the next book that I would read immediately after this is Trading, it's already up here, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Now, this book, I'm not going to lie, I think that this book is overrated. However, it is still something you need to read because it's like talking about mindset. The whole book is talking about mindset, and you need that mindset, discipline, that attitude, come to the market every day with that feeling of abundance, with confidence, and develop your confidence with good trading. So this book is extremely important for beginner traders and traders just in general, in order to see how Mark Douglas actually trains some of the best traders in the world and what their mindset is when it comes to trading. Now, if you don't want to read this 300 something page or 240 page book, I recommend just reading the last 20 pages, because the whole entire book can just be summarized in those last 20 pages. A lot of it was just jargon. It was just a ton of jargon. And at the end, it gives you actionable steps that you can take those last 10, 20 pages, actionable steps to take in order to take your trading to the next level or to get started trading without any mistakes. So flawless trading. Okay. So that is the next book that I would read. Now, this is the best book of all time when it comes to trading. Okay, so pay the freak attention here. So the best book when it comes to trading, if you want to be a master, right, is Reading Price Charts Bar by Bar. And this book is by Al Brooks, Dr. Al Brooks. So he was an MD and he started trading and he documented patterns that happen every single day. He documented these patterns. And he actually documented them on PowerPoint, which is pretty funny because it shows you kind of how long he's been trading actually. And it says it's for the serious trader, and when it says it is, it really is, because this book is like 340 pages or something like that, and it's literally like a textbook. It's a ton of words, but there are really well drawn charts that show you patterns that show up every single day, and it tells you how to read price action. So how do you know when there's a lot of buying pressure and there's a lot of selling pressure, when a stock is going to go up, when it's going to go down? It tells you exactly what to look for. And before this, I did not know what to look for. It's not just the patterns, it's every single bar. You can look at a bar and you can know exactly what's going to happen next. Like, it's ridiculous. And people always ask me on my TikTok, like, hey, or YouTube, how did you know that this was going to happen? How did you know SPY was going to go exactly to 570.01? And I'm like, man, look at this bar. Based on the history of this bar, and whenever it shows up, this is going to happen next. Okay, so it's really, 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 really good. This is the number one book I would recommend to read when it comes to learning how to trade and learning how to read price action. Okay, you don't need that ICT fair value gap, SMC, liquidity BS. All people say is liquidity just to sound smart. No, you just need to read the price charts. Okay, it's supply and demand. It's simple. Keep it simple. I promise you'll do really well. All right, let's get into some more books here. More books. So after learning about stocks and things of that nature, I wanted to get into options, because with options you can use leverage. So what is the best options book of all time? Man, I'm gonna put it right here for you. The best options book of all time is Options Trading by Ann Logue. Okay, Options Trading by Ann Logue, and it looks like this. This is exactly what my copy looks like. All right, and it says it's an idiot's guide. It really is. It walks you through in the beginning, step by step, what an option is, how options work, how you calculate options. And a lot of people are trading options right now and don't know the Greeks, and it pisses me off. I'm like, how are you trading and you don't know how this instrument works? Like, stocks, you buy the stock, it goes up, it goes down. Cool. But when you buy options, they're derivatives and they're wasting assets. So if you buy it, it could be worth $500 today, and tomorrow it could be worth 10. Okay, you got to be careful. You got to know how it can go from 500 to 10. Okay, instead of going up, it'll go all the way down, almost to zero. And you have to know, what are the Greeks? You got to know delta. You got to know gamma. You got to know theta. You got to know rho. You got to know the implied volatility. You got to know all these factors. Okay, and options trading breaks it down. And again, it's by Ann Logue. This breaks it down to like an elementary kid. Okay. And then it's also goes in depth, really in depth. It's a lot of pages, and it goes in depth on all types of strategies too, not just buying and selling options or going long calls and puts. It goes into depth. Oh shoot, it's actually free online. Look at that, free online. It explains it really well. It has a lot of pictures, a lot of examples. Very good stuff here, and it looks like it's free online on Google Books. So there you go. There you go. Okay. Now, if you want something a little bit more digestible that doesn't have like all the strategies, I'm gonna show you this guy right here. This is my other favorite options book. I've read probably 6 options books. These 2 are gonna be my top two. I really like this one. This is the one that I currently have. Right behind me. But basically, Understanding Options by Michael Sincere. Now, this book, again, breaks down options. This one, I think, makes it a little bit easier because he tells like a little bit of stories in the beginning. But he takes a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit too long to get into like how options work. And then doesn't really explain all the strategies. Like, Ann Logue's book, but Ann Logue's book is more of a textbook. This is more of, hey man, options are like insurance. Options are like this. It uses a lot of metaphors, okay? A lot of metaphors, as opposed to Ann Logue's book is like boom, 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 Microsoft, boom, 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 Apple, boom, boom, boom. All right, it's not too many metaphors, but more straight up examples of markets. Okay, but this is really good. This is really good stuff. One of my favorite options books for understanding options. So if you don't know the Greeks, if you don't know none of that stuff, start with this one. It's like 100. What? Oh, it says 320 pages. It felt like it was 100 pages. It was so short. It was so short. All right. So we got options books. We got the stock books. We got the technical analysis book. We got the mindset book. What else can you read to get better at trading? What else can you read to get better at trading or to further your trading? So once you're trading and you're getting into it, you need to start to try to become the best, right? You're in this to be the best, to make a lot of money, okay? And to become financially free and free yourself from some time, right? That's why you do this stuff. Well, if you want to do this stuff, you got to learn from the best. How do you do that? Well, read about them. Read, or hire them at least. But yeah, so you got to read about the best. So what would I recommend? I recommend this book right here, Market Wizards by Jack Schwager. So there's a series. This is a book series. So there's a ton of different types of this book. It's the Market Wizards series. All of the best traders talk about this book because this guy literally interviews all of the best traders in the world. He interviews Europeans, Japanese, Chinese, Americans, Canadians, Hispanics. Like he literally interviews the best traders in the world. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. You could be an alien. If you could trade, he's interviewed you. Okay, and a lot of these people aren't any of the people that you see online flexing Lambos or any of that stuff. These are people who just live their normal life. They get to the bag, they get the shmoney, and they get out of there. Okay, but he finds them. These guys are in the record books. These guys really trade for real. And the reason I like this this book series is because you learn a lot of strategies that nobody talks about. And they mention certain things. Like one trader had mentioned, hey, I noticed that when stock crosses the 50 MA on the daily time frame, it usually makes a move of about 6 to 7% based on that stock the immediate next 2 days. So I go long. I'm like, dang, dude, wait, what? And then this other guy was like, oh, well, if a stock closes at its high on a Friday, it tends to continue on at its all-time high. It'll tend to continue on Monday and Tuesday after the weekend. And there's all these other nuances and strategies that these traders talk about that they learned to make really easy money. Like for them, when they want to make money, they'll trade real quick, make money for a year, and then they're done. Like that's how good these guys are. So I recommend learning some of these, learning from these traders, learning their mindsets, their habits, and what they're looking at to make these outsized gains. Okay, really good series. And the book from the series that I'm currently reading is this one here, Unknown Market Wizards. I really like this one here, Unknown Market Wizards by Jack Schwager. And like I said, it's a series. I'm on this book here, the Unknown Market Wizards book. All right, and then last but not least, the last set of books that I would read. I should just pull them up here. All right, so the last set of books I would read are books by Deepak Chopra. Okay, so the first one, my favorite book, is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And again, it's by Dr. Deepak Chopra. I know this is backwards. Don't roast me. But it's by Dr. Deepak Chopra, and it talks about pretty much ancient wisdoms, basically. So it's kind of an esoteric type of book where he talks about mindset and what it really takes to be successful, and kind of how to the laws of the universe kind of feed into becoming successful, not just when it comes to trading, but just in general in life. Okay. And then another book by Dr. Deepak Chopra, Abundance, The Inner Path to Wealth. Okay. So those two books, some of my favorites. I read a lot of mindset books, a lot of esoteric texts, things like the Kybalion or John C. Maxwell books. Eckhart Tolle. I said Dr. Deepak Chopra. What's another one? Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, John C. Maxwell. Yeah, ton of other texts as well. But hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully this helps you with your trading. If you do like to read, if not, just keep checking out YouTube videos. They're fine too. But I'm telling you, if you want to get to the next level, treat it like school. Read these textbooks because there's some hidden gems in these books. Anyways, this is Mr. Fit to Flourish, and I'm outie. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance,